No, I haven't forgotten about the Sicilian defense. It's just such a big responsibility for me that I did not want to just record a quickly video. So thank you for waiting, and let's go to learn basic ideas in dragon variation. In the chess dragon variation, white usually focuses on a fast attack on the king side, trying to exploit the weakness of black's king's position that arises due to the fianchetto of the dark squared bishop. The main ideas include the early development of knights, for example, with the move knight d5 and preparing for exchanges on the king side, which create weaknesses in black's pawn structure. At the same time, it is important to defend the center and not to lose control over key squares such as e4. Main ideas and plans for white. First, attack on the king side. Create threats to black's king and destroy their pawn structure. The second, strengthening the center, maintain control over the center, not allowing black to develop counterplay on this key area. White must be attentive to black's actions, who often aim to advance queenside pawns, for example with a6, b5, to create pressure on white's position. The third one, counterplay with the bishop on c4. Disrupt black's standard setup when fianchetto their bishop on g7. Or, instead of the classical move bishop c4, white can choose an alternative plan, for example, castling queenside and using the extra tempo for an attack to push forward immediately. And the fourth basic moment is accuracy and attentiveness. They need to prevent black from exploiting their strong points and creating dangerous tactical strikes. White needs to calculate moves precisely, keep knights on the board, and be ready for sudden technical combinations. The main ideas of the dragon variation in the Sicilian defense for black is that black prepares to fianchetto the bishop on g7 to attack along the long diagonal, uses the bishop to protect the king and aims for counterplay on the queen side by advancing the pawns, or instead of a6, very often rook b8 and b5. Sometimes they even sacrifice this pawn on b5 in order to open and use this file. They just want to create pressure on the queen side and develop counterplay. Very often black plays rook c8, and very often they sacrifice their rook on c3. They sacrifice equality. They want to weaken the white's king. This is the most aggressive variation for both, for white and black. White attacks on the king side, black attacks on the queen side. Whoever is faster, that side will win. I hope you like this dragon variation, which is full of with sharp and tactical continuations. Use it and get a great pleasure from playing chess.